third, number 3, Andrew Johnson. And midfield is a Jake Jr. out of Toronto, Ontario, number 6, Jason Kajadahar. And midfield, a graduate student out of New York, number 8, Joe Suhetsky. On defense, a senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, number 12, Nigel Brooks. And midfield, a junior from Andover, Minnesota, number 13, Baraka Carlton. At midfield, a senior from Oakland, Michigan, number 15, Doug Hayner. At forward, a senior out of Santander, Spain, number 17, Alejandro Martinez Santamaria. At forward, a freshman out of Naperville, Illinois, number 18, Aaron O'Reilly. On defense, a junior from Peoria, Illinois, number 19, Chris Omar. On defense, a junior out of Owensville, Maryland, number 26, Bryant Mayer. And in goal for the Wildcats, a graduate student from Decatur, Georgia, number 0, Josue Hangy. Northwestern is coached by head coach Russell Payne and assisted by Ronnie Buendua, J.R. Burrows, and Slow Leo. All right, Cook fans, get on your feet. It's time to meet the starting lineup for your Maryland Terrapins. On defense, a senior out of Copenhagen, Denmark, number 3, Luca Costabile. On defense, a senior out of Bonn, Germany, number 5, Russell Cup. And midfield, a junior from Cologne, Germany, number 6, Leon Cole. And midfield, a senior from Kampala, Uganda, number 7, Sadat Masareka. And midfield, a senior from Albany, Maryland, number 8, Albi Andronica. And midfield, a senior from Terroto, Italy, number 10, Joseph Umberto Picosto. On defense, a sophomore out of Baltimore, number 18, Jake Watt. On defense, a graduate student out of Munich, Germany, number 22, Chris Steinreiter. At forward, a freshman out of Canton, Georgia, number 23, Rocket Rita. On defense, a senior from Cookman, Ohio, number 31, Tristan Rose. And in goal for your Turks, the sophomore out of Emmendingen, Germany, number 38, Lawrence Mack. Maryland is assisted by head coach Brian Rowland and Michael Gould. And the head coach for your Turks in his 33rd season is Sacho Sarowski. Mathematician, George Salika, Zach Country, Justin Gill, and Chuck Roberts.
It'll be interesting to see how they generate offense and try and attack Josue Hangy, but at the same time, as long as you have presence in MAC in goal. I feel like as Sasha Kurowski gets to feel pretty confident in this game.
So it's going to be the captain, Joe Sahetsky, a 4-year player at Maryland, to another homecoming. He's going to take the kickoff. Hanji boots it away. Help. Guys make a plan at the ball's bouncing around the air. Sahetsky tries to get it away, and that's a errant tackle by Costabile. Tried to miss it. Here comes Northwestern down the wing. And almost chance right there. We bumped just over goal on the cross. And it looks like an early corner here for Northwestern, just 30 seconds into the match. Starting off very aggressively for Russell Payne's crew.
It looks like Sasha was talking a little bit with the line judge there. He came really on the outside there, but no call as of right there. And like you said, a very early attack from Northwestern.
Northwestern corner kick.
Northwestern on the corner. Falls into the box. Headed away by Maryland. It's still in the air. Trying to make a play on it was Dodgegar. Trying to keep it out. Here comes Maryland on the counter push. That's a ball to Rita. It's a 2-on-2 right now. He's got Masareka and only 2 defenders. Rita fires. It's a dribbler. Looks like it got a deflection, or his touch wasn't there. But Josue Hanji is going to pick it up. Now Maryland on the offense likes to press. We'll see how it goes in there. Here comes Northwestern. So that's now. All the way down the left flank to Martinez Santamaria. He's got Jace Clark on him. Santamaria tries again across and another deflection. This is going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a Northwestern throw. The Wildcats, very aggressive so far.
You want to talk about a fast start for both teams. Northwestern comes out of the gate firing, but Maryland responds immediately with a quick 2-on-2. A bit of a weak shot from the coach on the offensive side. They got back on the defense quickly and they're playing well so far.
Here comes a throw into the box. Dodgegar being pulled away by Maryland. And down throws. Rita's going to try to make a play on it. Northwestern's going to keep it. Ball staying in the air a lot this game, not hitting the ground very much. Here's Lasse Kelp, I don't know if you call it a hero, I guess the game saver for Maryland, hit an unbelievable free kick to tie the game against Penn State. It was a pretty eventful game, but when is an athletic event between Penn State and Maryland not uneventful? Here's Lauren Mack now. Here's to Rose. Playing sensation of the season for the Terps. Here's Jace Clark. Clark tries to boot it down to Masareka. Does it have too much on it? Masareka is able to save it, but the offside flag is up. Just timed his run a little bit off right there. So, like you said, Andrew, both of these teams are coming out pretty aggressive so far. I mean, a lot of moving around. The ball's been in the air probably more than it's been on the ground, quite honestly.
Absolutely. Lots of headers on both sides.
Here's Clark is going to intercept the throw with the head. Alberto Picoto fights off 2 defenders, tries to keep it. Looks like he's going to lose it. Andrew Johnson gets the throw for Northwestern. He's going to take it out. Masareka is going to be
Water.
right on him.
That's why the seats aren't taking you.
Excuse me.
Fritz
Are there
Volmer.
20 seats over there?
Not
really.
Some local guys here for the Wildcats.
Okay.
Rita with a nice interception. And here comes the Turk with Stabule. Tried to get it to Alberto Picoto, but that was nice defense there from Northwestern. Not letting Maryland get the crucial passes that they need for some of these chances. Here's Kelp. Stabule. Back over to Kelp. A little bit of a weak pass. And Kelp's got to get a little more aggressive on it. A little bit sloppy as he gives it to Rose and receives it back quickly. Tries to get it down. It's going to be a little past Steinway. Rita tries to get a header, but not tall enough. And that's a nice through ball right there. Here's Andrew Johnson. Masareka on him. That's an aggressive tackle. And no foul. Looks like he got all ball right there. That was risky with him trailing Johnson, but nevertheless, it's Maryland ball. Here's Lauren Mack. Mack has been decent with it on his feet this season. Had a rough moment in mistake against Penn State his pass. Did not get all of his foot, and that led to Penn State's goal. So he took responsibility for it, and will likely not make that same mistake again. Here come the Terps now. like to play it from the wing backs. Here, Rita Reed's going to get a little bit too far right there from help. Alvin Tunica is trying to make a play on it, but just a little too far. Josue Hanji, as we said, the first-year grad transfer from Georgia State. Decatur, Georgia. Northwich over Martinez Santa Maria. Dajadar trying to make a quick play on it. That's a nice move right there from Costabile, who inverts probably a lot more than other left backs you see from around the country. But he makes, and that's going to be a foul right there. Umberto Capote is able to draw it. Maryland doing a nice job getting fouls so far in the night. I think a big thing for Maryland too tonight is if they can win a free kick and corner battle. That is going to be extremely crucial. They had way more than hit in their last game. You can see even with Penn State, because they're able to get those set-piece chances, they'll be able to capitalize off them a lot more, and they have one right here.
Especially with the explosiveness of GK out there, as many opportunities you can get in the offensive zone, that's going to be crucial for them.
Just over 6 minutes, and the ball sent in by Rita. It's going to be knocked away by Hanji. It's going to go just outside of the box. Northwestern boots it in the air. Ball's going to come down right here. Chase Clark trying to make a play on it. He's going to get it. Nice job keeping control. He's going to try to push it down the right side. Masareco with it now. And it looked like Northwestern wanted to be out of bounds. Not help. Rose. Costabile. Got it. Here's Rita, but it's in a crowded Northwestern back line. It's going to get sent all the way back to Lasse Coat. 7 minutes in here on Ludwig Field, Maryland versus Northwestern. Then with an errant pass, Umberto Dakota gets thrown to the ground. Same as Umberto Dakota. Stabile. Right down to Bernica. Here comes Maryland. Down the wing. It's a nice dribble move in a crowded box. Great defense from Northwestern. A great tackle to get the ball out of the box. The foul called. It's going to be a Maryland free kick just on the edge between the midfield third and the offensive third.
And I think if you're Sasha Szymanski, you have to be really attacking how the team has done in this early going so far. They're keeping the momentum moving. They've kept the ball in the offensive zone for the majority of this game so far. It's just trying to find that opportunity down low, which is what we've done so far.
Here's Clark. Rose. Help now, right at midfield. He's going to take a couple dribbles, try to get it. For Stabile. Rose again. As we said, no GK. They got to try to make this free kick count. They also have to play through the wings a lot in Maryland. So more on Sadam Masareku, who's got it right now. Tries to make a nice move. Here's Umberto Dakota, just on the edge of the box. Here's Steinleitner now. Cool. Vernica. Tries to get the cross in, but it's going to go out of bounds. For a whistle blown, it's going to be a goal kick for the Terps. Take the free kick with the noise and jeers of the crowd right on his back. They will probably move to the other side of the field in the second half as they always do. It's a great tradition that Maryland soccer has, a wonderful fan base. That ball up in the air, a little bit of scrum for it on the left side. Maryland goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with them. It's going to be a throw. Looks like Costabile is going to be the one taking the throw for the Terps. Each team with only one shot on goal so far. Northwestern with the corner. Maryland's going to try to play out of the back again. Chase Clark. A lot of pressure coming on Martinez Santa Maria after Matt. He's going to try to send it past midfield. Going to try to get it to Masareco, but Johnson's going to head it away. Clark with a nice physical plan. It's Steinleitner. Rita's got it now around center. He's got Baraka Tarleton. That is going to be an aggressive tackle right there. received a yellow card is shown with a Northwestern player down. It might be Rocket Carlton. He's up now.
That is just level of speed that people are trying to do. So I like the level of speed, especially from the first game. Like, haven't been afraid to go for it to get to the fouls. And you saw a little bit of jawing there from both sides. Guys trying to defend their guys from any sort of injury. You can already see that the Big Ten potentially rivals the Big Ten.
Physical confidence in every single sport. Here's Johnson now, got Masaryka on him. Martinez Santamaria with Jace Clark. Battle. Johnson trying to keep it low. Nice defense from Rose. It's going to be a throw near the far south corner for the Wildcats. Just over 10 minutes into the first half here. Still scoreless. That's a wild shot. That's off the sidebar. Bryant Mayer took a why not let it fly shot from outside the box, and it almost went in. Northwestern is 13 games across their last 13 matches when scoring the first goal. They're going to look to get out to an early lead. They have a chance here. The ball's in the corner. The cross deflected away. Looks like it's going to be another Northwestern throw. The Wildcats keeping it very close to their goal. Dr. Swarovski's going to want his guys to get out of the box, have an opportunity to clear it. Reed's going to try to chase down the ball. He's got some great speed. It's a freshman phenom. He's got a throw ball to Masaryka. He's only got one defender on him. A shot, a beautiful block. Andrew Johnson. Diving stop. A great chance from Aaron Rita showing off his speed. Rose now. Kelp is going to get it back to Lauren Mack. Mack's going to get it over to Costabile. Costabile tries to send it down the left side. It's being intercepted by Northwestern. Here come the Wildcats trying to play something out of the midfield. Here comes Aaron O'Reilly. Ball's getting knocked away. We got a nutmeg right here. Rose is going to try to get on. The shot is stopped by Mack. Both teams getting a fairly even amount of chances so far. But no team has broken through yet. No chance has been too dangerous, per se. They've gotten some shots, except for that shot that went off the sidebar for the Wildcats.
That was Santa Maria, who has such a big waist now. He's second on the team in points and losing assists. He still has that for the forward backwards, but he gets some heads going to be able to watch him go up and right.
All the way back here. Doug Beaman on that shot. Michigan, first year with the team. A lot of transfers to this Northwestern side. Same with Maryland. It's going to be a throw for Northwestern. Maryland's going to get on it though. Rose was very physical. After the ball, it's going to be out of bounds. Northwestern going very quickly here. Rose, great defense again. Max going to boot it away. Couldn't get to it. Northwestern, that ball's going to roll out of bounds for a Maryland throw. Just about 13 and a half minutes in. Maryland is ready to take this corner. Another beautiful night here at Ludwig Field. Glad to have you with us. Hopefully you were tuned into Maryland Field Hockey versus Michigan on WMUC Sports before. Doubleheader this Friday, but we hope that you're here now and that you're enjoying the broadcast. As that ball's going to roll out. It's going to stay Maryland. See what the tactics are for Maryland here. A bit more of a hard time playing from that left wing, obviously without Stefan Gike. See what Sasha Swarovski does substitution-wise in terms of maybe getting more attacking on there in some instances. Here comes Maryland now. Umberto Picoto tries to chase it. It's going to go over his foot and into the hand of Josue Hanji. He's going to roll it over to Nigel Prince. It's Volmar. Now it's with Nigel Prince. Germany. First season here in College Park. UMBC transfer. Ball out. Bring it off to Rose. Kristen Rose now. Heavy pressure. Costavio. Try to make a play on it, but Volmar is going to get right back to Hanji. Johnson now on the left side, right in front of the Northwestern bench. There's Masaryka in front of him. Masaryka putting on more pressure. That ball's going to get deflected off. Staying Northwestern, but Johnson pretty indecisive with that pass there. Allowed Masaryka a lot more time to get on the ball. Got it now. He's going to try to throw it all the way past midfield. Get it to O'Reilly. It's not going to work. Here's Poole. Chase Clark. Clark into the Steinlight. Here's Costavio. Costavio tries to get it to Jernica. Jernica has a struggle right there with Brian Mayer, but he's going to keep it in the throw. Costavio is going to be there and taking it. Gets it back to Jernica. Jernica tries to make a move right there. Here's Umberto Picoto. Cool. Back to Rose. Rose over Clark. On the fence past midfield. Rose has it right at the end. Lasse Kelp tries to send it down, but it's going to be too aggressive on the pass. It's going to go out of bounds for Northwestern. 18th minute. No one has broken the deadlock early in this game. Maryland's going to do play from the back now. Here's Kelp. Back to Rose. Rose is going to try to send it deep out of Masaryka. That's going to be a little too far. Josue Hanji's on it. Masaryka also had Volmar and Johnson all over him. And that's going to be a takedown. Johnson awarded the free kick. Come to a 33 injury last season, and he's played every minute thus far this season. He's been stable in this back line for the Wildcats. This was blown again. Not really sure why. Maryland players pretty confused. They get to saying something to Volmar. Volmar looked like he was pretty quick along the way with the free kick. And then another, and I think the head of referee took a bit of an issue to that as they were having a discussion where the ball is spotted. A word with Russell Payne from the bench. Headed up, Poole now's got it. Umberto Picoto, it's on his feet, got two defenders on him though. He falls to the ground. O'Reilly now. Maria tries to get it. Lift it up. offside flag, I believe, was just raised. We're about 19 minutes in, approaching the 20th minute. Masareka's going to out of Volmar. That ball's going to get tipped up. And that is going to be a corner. Masareka running directly down the middle. He had Volmar on him, but it's going to go for a corner.
The ball to kick from Maryland, taken by number 23, Rita.
Rocket Rita taking the corner on the right side. Normally Stefan Zike's job. That ball is going to be low one into the box. It's going to get booted up. Here's Cool now. Cool tries to fire a shot. It bends and goes just over the net on the top left side. Sky just a little bit. Had some nice bend on it. It is going to be a goal kick. Not a bad look from the junior midfielder. Boot away. He's got it again now. Good job by Breza, trying to get the ball free. That ball's going to be taken away. Here's Coach Stabile now. Ustranika tried to get it to Rita. She was intercepted by Nigel Prince. Baraka Tarleton gets it back to Bryant Mayer. Mayer sends the ball down. Tries to get the header to Santa Maria, but stay Maryland. See, a lot of times at the midfield so far, Northwestern just crowds the ball. You're seeing 2 or 3 players every time it touches the foot of a Tarleton. Maryland all over it. A little bit risky, because if you get there just a little too late or Maryland gets that pass off, they are going to have numbers, but so far, mildly successful. Stabile now. Mika. This foot in. Away. It's going to stay with Northwestern. A lot of hustling, a lot of possession switches here at the midfield as Northwestern tries to go down the right wing. That ball is going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay Northwestern.
They're consistently changing the point of attack and passing it off across the other side of the field on the defensive side. Now, with strength and numbers in the offensive zone, we should see how they're trying to get this ball on the course.
Crowder down there. O'Reilly tries to get it in. Out of the corner. Here comes the cross. It's going to be knocked away. Did that work for a corner? It did. And then it's back around. And it's going to be a Northwestern corner kick.
The corner kick for Northwestern, taken by number 8, Joe Suhetsky.
Joe Suhetsky taking the corner off his left foot. Raises his hand. Ball goes into the box. Matt tried to make a play on it. It is in the air, though, well past the box. Volmar sends it into the air to the box. Headed up by Maryland and safely into the mix of number 38, Wantman. Here comes Maryland now. Costavio. Passing. Get bounds. Deflected off Northwestern, so it's going to be Maryland possession. It's going to make its way all the way back to Joe Solangi, who can safely get it away to Andrew Johnson. He's got Roberto Dakota's going to knock the ball away off his foot. Stay Northwestern. Johnson's going to take the throw now. Taking a few steps. He's trying to send the ball. Guard's going to make its way just up the midfield. Steinleitner sends it back toward Maryland's side. Rita gets it off his chest. Being hounded defensively. Omar. Staying in Maryland possession. Lisa Earth is going to take the throw right in front of the Northwestern bench. He's going to sit down Breza Dakota. Cuts it off his foot, being booted away by Johnson. And another throw from the same spot. We have an impending substitution for Maryland. Looks like Matthias DeJesus is getting ready to come on. We're seeing he does. Also looks like the second substitution for the Turks, Luke Van Hookrum, will come on. So a forward and a midfielder will come on. We'll see who they take off for the first start. Lasse Help. Help for Luca Stabile. Stabile with a nice move. Cool. Vernica now has got it. Near the edge of the box. Back to Cool. And Cool. Kristen Willis just behind the field. Going to get it back to Wantman. So the Turks sort of retreating and restarting every time they can't really get into the box. This Northwestern defense has held their own. They're going to try to get a counterattack going right here. That ball tries to get in the 19th century area. Here comes Carlton. Carlton tries to get the full ball to Johnson. Chase Clark gets in front first though. He tries to get it away. Masharika. And a long ball. Rita had Boma all over him. Here's Nigel Cruz. Ryan Mayer with it. Chasing down the right flank. Hetsky. Buried in the right corner. Northwestern trying to get it out. Just under 19 minutes left to go here, and their subs will come on for Maryland. Also a sub for Northwestern. It looks like Peter Reese will come on.
Maryland substitution replacing Joseph Omneto Pigosto. Number 30, a senior out of South Maryland, Matthias DeJesus. And replacing number 23, Rocket Rita. Number 44, a junior out of Illinois, Luke Van Hookrum. And entering for Northwestern, number 14, a sophomore out of Atlanta, Jordan, Omar Jallo. And number 16, junior out of Budapest, Hungary, Peter Reeks.
A bit more powerful, a bit more finesse. Rita. Obviously after the win.
The corner kick for Northwestern, taken by number 8, Hetsky.
He's also playing physically, despite not being a very big guy. I mean, when we're not
Doug Hayner coming off, not Santa Maria. That corner sent away by Savetsky. In the box right now, Crowder with a big scrum for it. Another corner for Northwestern. They are winning the corner battle so far tonight. They're fourth right now, compared to just one for Maryland. 17 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game. It's been a good one so far, although no team has broken through. That corner goes in. Tried to punch it away. The deflection shot is going to roll out of bounds. Another corner. So the Wildcats starting to put on some heavy pressure here. For the Wildcats. That ball's going to go sent into the box, headed away by Maryland. A great clearance from the Terps. Now Northwestern's got to start just in front of the offensive third of the field, as opposed to the multiple chances they get in the box. By Steinleitner. Very physical tie up right there. Van Hooken is getting his shirt, shorts, tugged, everything. Cool now. Plays it for Jernica. Up the left side. Here's Masareka. Masareka makes a nice move. He's taken down. That might be a penalty. And it is. Sadal Masareka, he is down right now. Was taken down by it looks like Nigel Flynn. Also has a foul on Van Hooken. That looks pretty clear up here from the booth. I know you're far away, but luckily that was the short of that. Northwestern player has gotten up. He looks okay, but with 15 minutes and 52 seconds left, we have a penalty opportunity here for the Terps.
Who's better to take it than Sadal Masareka, who has one step there?
Masareka was awarded the penalty. It's Leon Cool who's a designated penalty taker for the Terps. Is 1 for 3 on the season. Sasha, he was 1 for 2. Sasha Sarosky said after that last miss that he wasn't going to miss again. So he will see what the German, who's drafted in the 3rd round by Sporting KC in the 2025 MLS Super Draft, does he have the confidence? Slot this one home. Josue Hanji, in his first appearance for the Wildcats, thrown into the fire. Cool sets the ball down. 1 step back, 2 step back. Hanji bouncing up and down. The whistle is blown. Here comes Cool. Runs up with his right foot. Slots it into the bottom left corner. And it is 1-0 Maryland. Kickoff, he's going to get it to Hans.
Maryland scores in the 30th minute of play. That penalty kick is scored by number 6, Leon Cole.
Not hit the ground a little bit. That ball goes up. Andrew Johnson heads it away. Tarleton. Back over to Johnson. He's collected penalty. Leon Cole. Christian Rose. Maryland on the board, 1-0 here on Friday night. That's a deep ball. Masareka tried to get it, but Omar got his foot on it. Here's the rock to Tarleton. A nice try to get a foot in there. Here's Chris Clark with it. Gonna get it back to Mac. Mac boots it away. That ball's gonna land at midfield. Van Hooken try to get a head on it. Stabile tries to fire one down. That ball is going to be for Jernica. He's got some open space. Northwestern's going to need to make up some ground. And he gets safe for scoring! unmarked, flying down.
Maryland scores in the 31st minute of play. That goal was scored by number 8, Albie Andrenica. With the assist of number 3, Luca Costabile.
Maryland with some more subs.
Entering for Maryland, number 28, a senior out of Mount Airy, Maryland, Brian St. Martin. And number 17, a junior out of Ellicott City, Maryland, Kenny Wilson. Also entering for your trip, number 27, a freshman out of Gladwin, Pennsylvania, Henry Bernstein. And finally, number 90, a freshman out of Bonn, Germany, Baruch Cisse.
Substitutions for Northwestern as well. So it's St. Martin for Poole, Bernstein for Costa Rica, Baruch Cisse for Jamaica, and Chris Gerson for Chris Steinleitner. For Northwestern is Jaden Vandeventer for Baraka Tullington, and Italo Adamandi for Alejandro Martinez Santamaria. 13 minutes left. A great offensive start for the Terps. Down one of their main attackers. And it looks like St. Martin's and Van Hooklum are going to be the ones up front for the Terps. Both driving at St. Martin couldn't. Here comes Northwestern. Johnson. Get up to the midfield. Lately, it's Chris Wilson, he's up close to the ground. A couple players hitting the post for Maryland. Tackle right there, ball can go out. Staying with the Wildcats. Wildcats trying to play to that right side a lot more. And that is going to be a foul. Give him a yellow card for that one. One thought he got pushed down in the box and then stood right in front of Lauren Mack. I mean, he got Meyer actually. He stood right in front of Lauren Mack as he tried to get the ball away. Right out of the box. New discussion with the referee.
Meyer, the one player on Northwestern from Maryland back in his home state tonight. Not trying to give his hometown team any sort of leverage.
And go in the first half is 2-0 Maryland. Leon Field penalty and Alvin Breza open play goal. Prince. Volmar. Volmar. Deciding what to do with it. So go back to Lindsay. Sends it away. By Cisse. Nice move. Cisse, the Borussia Dortmund Academy product. Over to Cisse. Cisse to Clark. Northwestern. Cisse pressure though from Johnson. Vandeventer tries to get it out of Mondi. Mondi's on the left flank. He tries to get the through ball too far. The shot, and he scores! It was a goal for Northwestern. It looks like Maryland was caught off guard. And it's 17 left. Season. His first goal since the first game of the season on August 21st against Eastern Illinois when he netted a brace. And yeah,
Northwestern scores in the 37th minute of play. The goal scored by number 16, Peter Leach. With the assist to number 23, Atara Armando.
3-1. A shot from the Pirates to Jesus. Almost made it 3-1. So we thought the ball was out, but no, we able to corral it. good position. Not too far outside of the box. They're going to have a free kick right here. They're going to try to bring this game back to a 2-goal lead. 5 minutes left to go here. Yeah. Person's got it now. He's going to try to cross it in onto. That ball didn't get to him, and that looked dangerous. It's going to be out for a Maryland throw, right near the corner. St. Martin is going to take it. Looks for a man. Whistle. He's going to try to throw it all the way into the box. That's going to be headed in and out of bounds. Ireland's going to get a chance to this time. He's going to quickly take it and try to start a counterattack. Here's Mayer. Tries to boot it away towards midfield. Help. Over to Matt now. He's going to try to start possession. Assistant Rose. Rose back over to Matt. That ball's going to be sent far down the right side. Hodges going to get it. He's going to boot it away, but they're going to call it offsides before it can be reached by the Terps. As we are about to hit the 3-minute mark here. There's 2-1 Maryland. WC Sports with Johnson. Bernstein. Susay tries to make a move on it. Right back from the Terps. They're going to try to make a move. Maybe get their 3rd goal of the half. They're going to play this left wing. Left wing. 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. Chris Thurston's going to send it back over the man. Slide it to Kristen Rose in the right center back position. Help. Back up in midfield. He sends the ball down. Then Hookland tries to run after it. He's going to throw it. He's going to toss to the ground. He's going to bump around a little more. No foul call. And they're going to get that one there. It looks like Mayer quit.
Sure, the physicality is crucial. They're getting a little too early.
One minute remaining in the half.
1 minute mark here. Again, the header. And the Northwestern ball. Look at the stop there. Northwestern ball. 38 seconds left. Northwestern will try to keep possession for the rest of the half. I think if you want that guarantee, you probably have one shot. Foul supported the Goddard. Adamandi will try to send in the box right there. Lauren Mack going to get his feet on it. Going to wait. pick it up. And your last 10 seconds
10,
are
9,
likely just
8,
to be around
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And at the half, our score, Maryland 2, Northwestern 1.
For whatever reason, the left side I can't hear you, but the right side I can. I don't know what's up with that, but great work, man.
Managing partner Leo Pizza
I think that
the official pizza of the Maryland Terrapins. Thanks to Lido Pizza for their generous support of Maryland athletics. At Lido Pizza, we never cut corners.
Welcome back to College Park. Tonight's matchup between the Terps, the Maryland Terrapins, and the Northwestern Wildcats here at Ludwig Field. A packed out crowd on this beautiful Friday night. I'm Andrew Breza. I'm here with my co-mate Jackson Wantman. Jackson, it was obviously a very exciting first half where we saw 7 goals across 3 goals across 7 minutes of play, and there were just like back and forth changes. What are you looking for in the second half? Keys for both sides as we play this final 45 minutes.
Well, I think if you're Maryland, don't take your foot off the gas. I think that halftime came at a good point for them because Northwestern got that goal to bring it to 2-1, started to push the tempo on offense a little bit more, started to get more chances. So I think for Maryland, try to get another one here, force Northwestern to be back down and have to climb their way up to the top. For Northwestern, I say just keep doing what they were doing towards the end. That was a great goal from Reese, catching the entire Maryland defense off guard. Keep pressuring Lauren Mack, keeping it in the box. That's how they got most of their chances before. I think if they can do that, we'll have an interesting game on our hands. And look, this sport can change. These games can change quickly, especially in the Big Ten. You talk about Maryland's 2-2 draw against Penn State. That game went back and forth. Just going to be for whatever team that keeps their composure can pull this one out.
It's going to be interesting to see just how fast-paced, especially the Maryland offense, can be in the second half. We mentioned in the first half they're without Stephon GK, arguably their best offensive player, but they still, even without him, still look explosive. And throughout this season, they're scoring 2.86 goals a game. That's best in the Big Ten and 7th in the nation. They also rank top 10 in the nation in assists per game, shots per game, and shots on goal per game. So it'll be interesting to see how they move this ball around and try and get even more, try and stretch this lead out a little bit more too.
Yeah, the tactics that Sasha Ostrowski and his staff have put in place without GK. Masareka's had a good game. Rita's had a good game. They've got the goals, and they just got to keep doing that in these next 45.
Second half is officially upon us. The ball in Maryland's end as Lauren Mack takes it and kicks it to his defenders. To the left side, he's got Lasse Kelp, who kicks it up the field. Possessed by Northwestern, and out of bounds. A great deflection there by Rocket Rita, who's back in the game now. And as we said, had a very impactful first half for the time that he played, showing off the blazing speed.
And Luke Van Hooklam staying in as well for the Terps.
Northwestern throws it in. It goes over Northwestern player's head, attempting a header. Tristan Rose with the ball back in Maryland's defensive end. Over to Lasse Kelp on the left side. Kelp taking it up, kicks it up a little bit. And Northwestern is called for a foul there. That was Aaron O'Reilly making contact with Kelp. Now it's Leon Kuhl who scored the first goal of the game on that penalty kick. And now Maryland gets the ball into the box, but it's quickly removed by the Northwestern defense. But still in their own end, the Terps, Luca Costabile on the left side. He sends it in. Northwestern heads it up. Still in the danger zone. Terps keep possession. And now Northwestern clears it, but not too far as the Terps retain possession. Costabile down the left side again, trying to get it in once more, but the Northwestern defense once again says no. Kicking it out of bounds, and Maryland will have a corner kick, just their second one of the game.
That's a fantastic start to the second half for the Terps. Luca Costabile really igniting this offense. Some really nice blocks from Nigel Prince and Fritz Volmar.
Maryland sends in the corner kick. It's low, dribbles a bit, and Northwestern clears it, but Maryland retains possession in the offensive end. Terps send it up. Costabile to Kuhl. Kuhl sends it in. Once again, Northwestern's defense clears it, but Maryland retains possession. The Terps on the right side, sending it in right into the box and cleared out again. But another shot that sails right over. Put a little bit too much juice on that one, and it'll be a goal kick for Northwestern.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever seeing that ball again, but this Maryland attack is giving Fritz Volmar and Nigel Prince a very difficult time. They are forcing them to stretch their legs out, be athletic, get the ball away, and you keep playing like this, you have a pretty good chance of breaking through.
Maryland setting the tone early here in this second half. The ball, in just over 3 minutes of play, has been predominantly in the Maryland offensive zone, the Northwestern defensive zone. And that stays that way after a Northwestern throw-in. Maryland driving down the right side, once again looking for an opportunity. He crosses in, looking for Costabile, but not going to be there. Northwestern clears it as the fans here at Ludwig wanted a foul called on Rocket Rita, but nothing was called. Now, racing back. Once again, nothing called, as it looks like it was Tristan Rose who fell down, but Lauren Mack cleared it as the Terps come back down the sideline. Once again going in. Oh, and it's off the crossbar. What an opportunity there for Maryland.
That was Masareka flying down the right flank. A great cross into Van Hooklam. Just got a foot on it right off the crossbar, and so close. And we talked about it before, Van Hooklam, look, he got pulled down on the chance before that. May have wanted a penalty here as we have a Maryland player down.
Like you said, Masareka absolutely once again showing the speed, and he got it right to where Van Hooklam needed it, but just not quite able to capitalize. A great shot from Van Hooklam, no doubt about it, but just a little bit too high. Josue Hangi once again being challenged in net. Game stoppage continues as of now, although the downed Terrapin is now up.
Yeah, Van Hooklam, that was almost, he had 2 chances right there for his 4th goal. He wanted the penalty along with the Ludwig faithful when he looked like he got pulled down, but that, a crossbar still reverberating from that other chance.
Northwestern will take the ball back in their defensive zone. Once again, Masareka applying pressure. And now it's Cool coming up on Northwestern in their zone. And a slide tackle, but nothing called as Northwestern's player is down, hurt in their end as they drive it further up, and the Terps just are able to clear it as it'll go out of bounds for a Northwestern throw.
It looked like they got advantage right there.
Yeah, I would have thought that something, it kind of looked like it was, something should have been called there. But the Terps are not complaining. Still, Northwestern with a scoring opportunity here in Maryland's defensive end. The furthest they've had it, once again, as we said in the first half, strength in numbers for the Wildcats down here low, which is what they've tried to get all game and have not been particularly successful with. Throw in, going straight into the box. It's bounced around, ball still being kicked around by both sides, and Maryland is able to clear it out onto the other half of the field, where it will go out of bounds for another Northwestern throw-in. Van Hooklam getting down there and applying pressure. The throw-in once again headed out by Maryland. And Northwestern continues to try to move it up the field. Once again out of bounds. And no call on another physical play by Northwestern as they continue to try to push this ball further into the Maryland defensive zone.
A lot of play, a lot of box-to-box play from both of these sides so far. See who can try to break through first.
It's Bryant Mayer with the ball on the right side for the Wildcats. And then goes out of bounds for a Maryland throw-in. Impressive kick there from Van Hooklam. Repossessed by Northwestern. That was Van Deventer taking it up, but it goes out of bounds once again, although this time off on Maryland for another Northwestern throw-in, where it'll be Bryant Mayer once again. Once again, Northwestern trying to stack the box.
See if they can keep putting pressure on Maryland's back line. Lauren Mack hasn't really been tested much other than that first goal.
And Maryland will kick it out of bounds. Smart play there to get it so there was no corner kick for the Wildcats. But Northwestern retains possession deep in Maryland's zone. Once again, Bryant Mayer on the throw-in. Or no, now he will leave it for Andrew Johnson. Johnson with a small throw-in right back to Mayer, but Mayer sends it into the zone. Headed up by Maryland, still up in the air, and now cleared by Maryland. An impressive kick by Van Hooklam.
Ball got just behind Umberto Picotto right there.
Yeah, he almost had a breakaway there.
Took another deflection.
Northwestern still generating pressure into the Maryland defensive end as they retain possession. Now, Barack Tarleton passes it back to Van Deventer. Bryant Mayer across. Northwestern continuing to drive along the left side of the field, kicking it down towards the sideline, where once again a physical play occurs, but nothing is called. It'll be a goal kick for Lauren Mack. Maryland trying to reorganize themselves a little bit as Mack is taking his time. Kicks it over to the left side to Lasse Kelp, who goes back across to the other side of the field. Maryland now trying to get out of their zone, and they do. Racing down the right side of the field. And it's once again Mazareka driving it down, trying to put the moves on, and he gets stopped.
It's phenomenal defense right there from Johnson.
Andrew Johnson been impressive all game long. Once again, Mazareka on the far right side. He kicks it back. It's Lasse Kelp now on the left side. Ball still in the Maryland offensive end. Costabile back to Kelp. Kelp now sending it up for Jernica, who was the other goal scorer, and he gets shoved to the ground. Once again, no call. Refs allowing some physicality. Now Bryant Mayer has an opportunity. He's racing down the right side of the field with one man on his side. Another man, they try and cross it, but get a little out of position. The Terps were vulnerable there for a second. Northwestern still with a shot attempt that is blocked by a Maryland defender. Northwestern retains possession. Bryant Mayer, not Bryant Mayer, excuse me. That's O'Reilly driving it in once more. Now Bryant Mayer, he sends another kick that goes out of bounds, and Northwestern will have yet another corner kick opportunity.
I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity right there for the Wildcats, Andrew. They had the Maryland defense on its heels, and then you saw Bryant stop, change direction. That cross went a little too far. I think they really had an opportunity right there. They had that Maryland back line that is usually very stout, pretty disoriented.
It'll be Suhetsky once again taking the corner kick. He passes it just right in to Van Deventer. Van Deventer to Andrew Johnson. Johnson switches the point of attack to the left side of the field. Northwestern still with the ball. Passes it once more, and it's deflected by Mack, but the ball remains in, and now the Terps regain possession. Going way downfield for Van Hooklam, who has possession on the left side. Van Hooklam now taking a... Couldn't quite tell if he was trying to get that in there or shoot it. Either way, little off target, goes out of bounds. And Josue Hangi will have a goal kick.
I think he was trying to get that one into Mazareka right there. I feel like he could have gone a little more downfield. He had some space. I think he had a few more seconds before that Northwestern defense recovered. Just a little bit too much mustard on that cross.
Tried to force it a little early there. substitution for Northwestern, as it looks like it'll be Van Deventer exiting for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, Doug Heiner out of Oakland, Michigan will take his place. Northwestern driving the ball up the field. It'll be the freshly added Heiner, but he lets it get away from him and go out of bounds for a Maryland throw-in. Northwestern with the ball in their defensive zone. Circling back, passes it back to Hangi, who now switches the point of attack to the right side, goes right back to the left. That was Nigel Prince. Now they send it directly upfield, where Lasse Kelp heads it out of danger. And now Maryland retains possession. Once again, Mazureka applying pressure. Northwestern, Bryant Mayer on the right side. He passed that off to Barack Tarleton. Tarleton now passing to the left side as Northwestern continues to drive it up the field. Terps continue to apply pressure as the ball gets into the box, but cleared there. As another physical play from this Northwestern midfield, they regain possession as Mazureka falls down. Now, for Northwestern, it was Jason Gajahar, but the Terps defense swarms. Lauren Mack applied pressure, and the Terps kick it out, but not before it deflects off a Northwestern player for a Maryland throw-in. Lasse Kelp sending it down the field. An impressive kick there by Umberto Picotto. Van Hooklam possesses it, now changes the side, the point of attack. That's Farouk Cisse bringing it down. Cisse sends it in, and it was deflected, but Maryland will have a corner kick opportunity.
That ball hitting just the right side, the outside part of the net, challenging Hanji just a little bit. And Maryland can start putting on the pressure a little more here. I'd say advantage Northwestern so far in these first 14 minutes of the second half. They have gotten more chances. They have pushed the ball into the box a lot more than the Terps have, keeping possession. I think Maryland's going to need to turn the tides here.
The corner kick from Maryland, taken by number 3, Luca Costabile.
It'll be the veteran Luca Costabile on the corner kick for the Terps, as the Terps once again load the box. With Farouk Cisse, the big man from Germany, right up in front, as the header is unsuccessful. It goes right to the left side. An excellent opportunity there. A great ball from Costabile, but the Terps cannot convert.
That's about as good of a chance as you're going to get. It's a good header, just didn't get on target right there.
Absolutely. Northwestern possessing the ball in their defensive end. Hangi with the ball, now communicating with his guys, trying to set something up as he passes it off to the left side. Northwestern taking it up. Now crossing midfield, but the Terps will repossess and go right back on the point of attack. Now back in Maryland's defensive side, as Farouk Cisse possessed it. Now Steinleitner trying to reset. He sets it back. Lasse Kelp on the left side of Maryland's defense with Lauren Mack way out of goal. Now Costabile with an impressive crossfield kick. Once again, a shove from a Northwestern player where Van Hooklam wants some sort of call. As we've said multiple times, he's been getting beat up.
Yeah, I think he just kind of got pushed there. I think he's trying to clamor for one that he's not going to get right there. But there have been a couple earlier in the game where he might have had a case, but to be honest, we're saying it about both teams too, so the refs are at least being somewhat consistent in letting both teams play.
Lasse Kelp sending it down the left side of the field for Mazureka. Mazureka off his head, and then he makes contact with the Northwestern player. He takes a shot, but it's way off to the right side. Didn't really have the proper time to set himself there.
That one you might have had a case for. I think one of the risks you run as a referee when you let teams play is, especially teams in the same conference, is that they try to see how much they can get away with, and they gradually push and maybe get a little bit more aggressive each time just to see if they'll be able to do it or not.
The Terps are taking Joseph Humberto Pocoto off. And it will be Matias De Jesus replacing him. Northwestern now possessing the ball as they take it across midfield, pushing up on the left side. Northwestern pushing it up once more, deflected by the Terps. Back to Lauren Mack, who sends it sky high, but Northwestern keeps it in their offensive zone as they continue to possess the ball. Now right outside the box, the Wildcats with a shot opportunity, and it's saved by Mack. A diving stop by Lauren Mack. Staying on his toes as always, deflecting it out of bounds, and Northwestern will once again have a corner kick, their 7th of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal athletic save from Mack. Dove out to his left, both arms outstretched, got his hands on it. But yeah, you said 17 minutes in, Northwestern's been pressuring.
They're not letting this game get away from them. And once again, it'll be Suhetsky on the corner kick. But currently, Russell Payne and the referee are in a heated discussion. Referee now jogging away. Northwestern making a substitution prior to the corner kick, or no, not yet, but they're getting ready to. Once again, Suhetsky from the corner sends it in deep, overshoots the goal a little bit. Northwestern with a header, but it goes right out of bounds.
That was a good corner defense there from the Terps.
Although it looks like it might have actually been off. Yeah, it was off a turf. So Northwestern will go once again, but from the other side of the field. This time it will not be Suhetsky taking it. I can't quite tell who it is taking it. Sends it right back in. Another excellent corner kick. And right there, what an opportunity there from Bryant Mayer. He couldn't quite get enough power on the header, but right at Lauren Mack as Mazureka will possess it on a far kick from Mack. Going in for Van Hooklam. It goes past him. The Terps threatening. Mazureka once more. He takes a shot that's deflected. Northwestern trying to clear it, but Maryland retains possession. And now back and forth as the two sides are playing pinball. Another opportunity going deep inside, and it will be headed out of bounds, I believe, by Northwestern, so Maryland should have another corner kick opportunity.
Yeah, that was poor touch on that last possession for Maryland. Definitely would have given themselves a better shot. That was good ball movement by Mazureka, but they get the corner. It's their 3rd of the game as compared to Northwestern's 8.
And it looks like once again it'll be Luca Costabile taking it. Sends it in. The Terps retain possession. They take a shot blocked by Northwestern outside the crease. The Terps retain possession, trying to figure something out on the offensive side. They haven't had a lot of luck as Lasse Kelp tries to reset it from the back end. Kelp now back in his own defensive zone. Passes it to Costabile. Now off for Van Hooklam. Now it's Matias De Jesus. Back to Costabile on the left side. Costabile trying to put the moves on. Sends it in. A header attempt. What a save, and no! And now it's a Maryland goal!
That was a bicycle kick.
What a shot as the entire Maryland bench swarms. Josue Hangi initially made the save attempt, and then Maryland sends in a bicycle kick to retake a 2-goal lead. That all happened so quickly I couldn't even tell what happened, but it was Mazureka, who we have mentioned all game long.
That was just an unbelievable goal. That was great pressure from Maryland, constant pressure on Hanji, and Mazureka sometimes with the bicycle kick, you kind of just got to say screw it and you don't think. And he turned off that right foot, and that is just what Maryland needed, as it felt like Northwestern had been playing much better in this half. Great job. That is Van Hooklam and Dranica on the assist. That is now a 3-1 game.
That goal has reignited this Ludwig Field crowd. Everybody's jumping up. And like you said, I mean, Northwestern seems like they had been in control of this second half so far. But that just kind of shows you just how quickly the Terps offense can change the tide. Beautiful ball movement at first from Luca Costabile, sending it in. And then, as you mentioned, Van Hooklam and Dranica getting it down there. A hell of an effort from Josue Hangi, who saved the first attempt. But Sanam Mazareka sends it in as the Terps regain a 2-goal lead. As Northwestern now running out of time, 19 minutes into the second half. Northwestern will throw it in on the left side of the field. Looking for somebody, anybody. Finally throwing it in to Tarleton.
It's Masareka's 4th of the season.
No Stefan GK, no problem, as Masareka has been dominant all game long as the Terps defending. The Wildcats continue to have the ball down in their end. Jason Gajahar trying to find an opportunity. Still has the ball, now passes off to his teammate. Another shot opportunity, and it's quickly saved there by Lauren Mack. Maryland's defense continues to put pressure, but they still find themselves in these situations where they find themselves a little bit lost and still do allow a shot attempt, as we discussed on that first the first and only Northwestern goal. Have to imagine they want to try and keep that energy up so that they don't get back into a 1-goal game. As the Terps drive it back up, it's Mazareka once again crossing it to the other side of the field. The Terps now driving back down. Sends it to the corner for Farouk Cisse, who can't find anything. Terps keep the ball moving, trying the right side again. No luck, but once again, they keep possession as Cisse sends it back to the defenses, to the defenders, as Lasse Kelp sends it off for Costabile, who kicks it out. And an interesting, Costabile, very unprofessional mistake there. As he kicked it out, it did look like it was off the Northwestern player, but they called it a Northwestern throw-in. Costabile practically shoved Omar Jallo to the ground.
And they're all made up now, but yeah. I think Costabile thought that throw was going to be his. He didn't get it, and Jallo's right in front of him, but just a warning from the referee.
Sort of let the emotion take over there for a second, but like you said, it looks like they made up. Obviously, emotions, like we've said throughout the game, especially in a conference matchup that has been as physical as this one, emotions get the best of you sometimes.
Yeah, but you got to keep your composure late. You know, we're in the last 24 minutes or so of play left. You can't make mistakes like that the later you get into the game, because it could hurt your team.
Bryant Mayer now to throw it in for the Wildcats. He sends it deep down the side. And Costabile once again given a warning as he stuck his foot up high there. And it'll be another opportunity for Northwestern deeper in the zone. It'll be Joe Suhetsky, it looks like, once again to take the kick. As Mayer and Santa Maria surround him. Suhetsky and Santa Maria, the 2-point leaders for this Northwestern team. As Santa Maria fakes, and then Suhetsky sends it in. A good opportunity, but it's headed out by Maryland. Now back out to Northwestern, and a poor shot attempt there from Van Deventer, as he just didn't really set himself, and he skies it way too high to the left.
I think he set himself a little bit. He just didn't get a foot on it. You know, he had time, and I know it throws you off a little bit with that shot when, you know, there's a lot of players in front of you, almost like their own wall, but Yeah, that going off to the left like that clearly shows he didn't get the foot on it as much as he probably would have wanted to.
Now it'll be Lauren Mack for a goal kick. He sends it far down, deep into the Northwestern territory, and now back into Maryland territory. An impressive play there from Lassie Kelp to get it, to prevent an opportunity, but right back into it as O'Reilly sends it in, and the Terps are able to clear it. Another missed opportunity there from Northwestern, but the Wildcats continue to threaten retaining possession, although not any longer, as now the Terps are sending it down deep into the Northwestern zone. Once again, Masareka sending it down. Masareka continuing to threaten as Northwestern gets the ball back. Pass back to Hongi, who settles and now sends it back into the Maryland zone, but nobody there as it'll go out for a Maryland throw-in.
Come about just under 22 minutes left. See if Northwestern gets a goal here. They probably want one soon, because if you get one soon, now you're only back to 1 goal down. You can play more aggressively, or more controlled. Right now, you really need a goal. So I feel like if you get that one, it's only a 1-goal game, and now you can really start to take advantage of your chances.
As time winds down, the opportunity for momentum on the Northwestern side goes down as well, as Maryland possesses it. Now it's Luca Costabile on the left side. Costabile sends it way upfield. Van Hooklam threatening, continue to make contact, and then Van Hooklam gets absolutely decked. Once again, no call. But as we've said, it's happened on both sides. The refs letting these guys just not do anything, but they're hitting each other pretty hard. Now it's Lasse Kelp who sends it back to his goaltender, Lauren Mack. Mack possesses it, tries to slow things down. As the Terps send it way upfield, looking for Masareka, but no such luck. Now it'll be Hongi to possess it in his crease. Back out there for Nigel Prince. Northwestern trying to get something, anything going. Now off to Barack Tarleton on the right side. He sends it down the sideline, but nobody there from Northwestern went down to take it as Costabile shields, and it will be a goal kick for the Terps.
Nice job by Maryland defensively, trying to slow down Northwestern a little bit. These last 20 minutes, they're just going to have to keep going because Northwestern is only going to get more aggressive as the time winds down.
The Terps are playing this game at their own pace and trying to force Northwestern to do something. And Northwestern is starting to get a little bit desperate. Still plenty of time left, but after missed opportunity after missed opportunity, it's getting down to the wire here for the Wildcats. Northwestern possessing it now in the Maryland zone on the left side of the field. Passes right into the center there for Andrew Johnson. Now out to Bryant Mayer, looking for an opportunity in the crease. He was looking there for Suhetsky, but nothing to be found. Northwestern is sending in Jason Gajahar once more, and will be taking out Tarleton, who's been a part of that very physical midfield for the Wildcats. It'll be Lauren Mack sending it into the Northwestern zone. Northwestern clears it back into the Terp zone. Two sides exchange kicks, and now the Terps will possess it. Saddam Masareka with an opportunity for applying pressure. Van Hooklam applying pressure. Missed slide tackle there from the junior from Illinois. Northwestern now trying to bring it up. Bryant Mayer on the right side. Now off for Omar Jallo. Back to Mayer. Mayer gets tripped, and
I don't know about that one.
They called that one, and I agree with you there.
And
So do the Terps players.
That looked like he got all ball to me, but I guess I'm not the one down there on the field. Steinleitner who had the foul called on him.
Once again, it will be Santa Maria and Suhetsky. Or no, Santa Maria now walking off. Suhetsky will take the free kick from the Big Ten logo in the Maryland defensive zone. As he passes it to Santa Maria trying to find something, passes it back to the middle. That'll be Van Deventer. Van Deventer trying to find something to no avail. And an impressive play there by the Terps defense to clear it out for a Northwestern throw-in rather than a corner kick. Northwestern continuing to threaten, but not getting it quite where they want it, as it'll be Andrew Johnson, who's handled a lot of Northwestern's throw-ins. He will take care of this one once more as he sends it into the box. Head of the round, Andrew Johnson repossesses, and then Sadal Mazureka taking it back up for the Terps. Mazureka gets it.
Great foot.
That was an excellent defensive play there by Northwestern. Mazureka once more down the sideline, but the pass goes a little too far. That time from Matias De Jesus. Goes out of bounds as Northwestern will regain possession.
So right idea on the through ball right there. Just couldn't really put it where he wanted to.
It'll be another Northwestern throw-in. This time by Bryant Mayer. Getting it in there to Omar Jallo. Now, Jernika had it for a second. Now it's back to the defensive end for Maryland. Farouk Cisse, who had one of the 2 goals against Penn State on Tuesday. Cisse bringing it up as Northwestern steals it back. But the Terps continue to apply pressure and regain it. And now Northwestern has an opportunity as they have 3 and 4 guys racing down to the Terps just 3. And an excellent defensive play there. I can't quite tell who that is, but he's fired up as the Terps stopped a potential 4-on-3 opportunity for the Wildcats there.
These last 15 and a half minutes now, if you're Maryland, maybe you can catch Northwestern trying to be more aggressive and maybe just put the nail in the coffin of this match.
As we've said before, with the time winding down, the desperation increases. And sometimes that leads to unwanted mistakes. We'll have to see if Maryland can force Northwestern into a situation like that and maybe get another goal. The Terps sending it back into the Northwestern zone, back along the right side. Now in. So that was De Jesus who lost it there for a second. Now Cisse back down. Once again sent back up. Cisse back to Maryland's defense. Now Lasse Kelp sends it back to his goaltender, Lauren Mack, who possesses it and is holding on to it. Now back to Kelp as the Terps try and set something up. Once again, Costabile running down the left side, and he will go for Costabile, but it is tipped there by Aaron O'Reilly of Northwestern. It'll be a Northwestern throw-in once. Oh no, it'll be ruled a Maryland throw-in. It'll be Luca Costabile trying to make something happen for the Terps as his head coach, Sasha Surovsky, gets in his ear. Steinleitner sends it deep into the crease where it will be collected by Hangi. Northwestern now, with time winding down even further, I can't get anything going. Leon Kuhl sends it in there for Jernika. Jernika takes a shot. Oh, and what a save there by Josue Hangi. He just barely got part of his mitt on it. Then it goes off the crossbar and behind the netting. Another impressive shot from Jernika, who had that one impressive shot earlier for Maryland's second goal. He's got a lot of power.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very well-placed shot by Jernika. A phenomenal strike top right, but also props to Hangi, who got that hand up there. If he didn't, then it's 4-1.
the kid from Olney, Maryland, who Sasha Sarovsky described as tough as they come after he had missed the entire 2023 season. And now Maryland with a corner kick. The ball goes back up in the air, and it goes into the net. A really poor save attempt there from Josue Hangi, who let it escape his hands, and the crowd around the ball gets another goal across for Maryland. And that might just be the nail in the coffin you were talking about, Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, that is just kind of poor composure in the box for Northwestern's back line. Credit to Maryland for sticking with it. And, 13 minutes left. It's 4-1 Terps. And, I think, it's hard for Northwestern right now. You can see the body language. It's pretty draining now when you're trying so hard to get back into the game. It's only a 2-goal game. If we get one, it's close. And, now that's just very, very good job by Maryland. Credit to Hangi, though. Like, his first ever appearance for Northwestern. He hasn't played at all this season. He's thrown to the fire against one of the best offenses in the conference. But, the Terps have just overpowered him tonight.
Yeah, as you said just a second ago, after each of the Terps goals so far, Northwestern has kept their heads up. They've clapped. They've tried to stay in it. But after that latest one, now with less than 13 minutes to play, you saw some players with their heads hanging. Not a whole lot of confidence as we enter the final 10 minutes almost.
Yeah, and I think the official goal credit is going to be a own goal against Northwestern,
which is also demoralizing for the Wildcats. But they continue to try and make this a closer game as an opportunity for Aaron O'Reilly goes out the back. Northwestern now making some additional changes as Peter Reese and Italo Adamandi will come back into the game.
Looks like along with number 29, Everett Fisher as well, a freshman midfielder.
Number 16, Peter Reese. Replacing number 17, Alejandro Martinez.
Russell Payne trying to get some fresh legs out there, see if there's anything left for his guys. As Lauren Mack sends it into the Northwestern end. And it's headed by Northwestern. Once again, Mazureka threatening. Mazureka continues to threaten as Jernica also applies pressure. The Terps now regain it with numbers, but they send it back and reset. Jernica now out for Cisse on the right side. Ball sent back to Lauren Mack in the Terps' defensive end. Mack now sending it deep.
I think right now for Maryland, it's just run the clock down, 11 minutes left, just let the time run out.
And a late call there as Van Deventer was a little bit late to get up. Will be a free kick for Northwestern. Just across midfield. That'll be Nigel Prince sending it off to his guy, Fritz Volmar, who, credit to those two guys, they've made it difficult on the Terps all night long. Consistently being physical, consistently kicking other chances away.
Yeah,
They've been an impressive duo.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have saved at least a goal or maybe two tonight with their interceptions and their tackles and their blocks. I think this game would definitely look a lot different right now if it weren't for them.
Now the Terps making some adjustments as Mateo Caride comes in, along with Jace Clark coming back into the game. That'll be it for Luca Costabile today.
And it looked like Van Hooklam came off
Van
as
Hooklam
well.
as well.
Likely not coming back in if you're just looking at the score right now.
And incredible efforts from both those guys who are playing physical, playing fast all the way through. As there is a call against Jernica. Definitely not a legal tackle there by the Wildcats. As we are now ticking down to within 10 minutes left in this match. Ball goes back to Lauren Mack, way deep in the Terps' defensive end. And now the Wildcats are applying some more pressure, trying to get something, anything going as Nigel Prince heads it back into the Terps zone. Now sent deep on the right side for Omar Jallo, and he is able to save it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, we're under 10 minutes left. You just kind of got to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Everett Fisher making an attempt, but broken up there by the Terps. And it is called out of bounds on Van Deventer.
Looks like Clark went down after that tackle.
Jace Clark a little slow to get up, but he does get up. Helped up by Leon Kuhl.
And see some guys who you normally don't see playing many minutes might start to come in soon. You know, both of these coaches just trying to get some fresh, you said it, fresh legs onto the pitch.
The throw-in goes to Mack way behind, and it's once again Peter Reese applying pressure on Mack. Jernicka out for Mazareka. Back to Kuhl. Now back to Chase Clark. Kuhl once again. Sending it back up. Jernicka once again driving it up, but he's called off sides.
He looked like he had defenders with him. I'm not sure how far past the last one he was.
He also had running mates there too. Could have been another opportunity for the Terps. So we got some stomping bleachers out here at Ludwig Field.
Always a good showing from the Terp faithful for the squad. And Sasha Ostrowski even said in one of his press conferences after Pitt that he wants more fans to come. He wants this place to be sold out. He thinks this is one of his best teams since the 2018 National Championship winning squad.
Obviously very early on into the season, but now playing your 8th game, your 3rd conference game, and they look pretty good. You have to imagine as they always are under Sorovsky, but now this season with a lot of star power and a lot of depth, you have to imagine their goals are incredibly lofty this season.
Yeah, and we'll see if they stay in the rankings or 23rd in the country right now. No, they're going to have a draw versus Penn State, and then now presumably this big win against Northwestern to help their resume. We'll see, but there's no doubt that this is a very talented squad that Sasha Sorovsky has.
Time winding down here. It's close to 7 minutes left in the match. And I never like to jinx anything, but it feels safe to say at this point that
I mean, if Northwestern somehow managed to score 3 goals in 7 minutes, I think we're going to have Maryland's going to have bigger problems.
They are going to have much bigger problems. As Lauren Mack possesses it in his own crease. Just holding it, trying to wind this clock down, wait for something to open up. Sends it off for Lasse Kelp on the left side, goes right back to Mack. Pressure being applied once again there by Peter Reese. Now off to Tristan Rose on the right side. Rose sends it up. And it looks like Maryland will make some final adjustments here on the substitution side. Peter Reese now possessing it, going back in. Another big collision, but nothing called. Jernicka fighting it with Everett Fisher. Northwestern continues to get stopped by this Terps defense as the game remains incredibly physical. And now we'll see Brian St. Martin, Rocket Rita, and Kenny Quist-Thurston enter the game. And that'll be all for Matthias De Jesus. Saddam Mazareka, who had one heck of a game tonight, constantly providing pressure on the offensive side. Once again, Lauren Mack possessing it deep in his end with some pressure from Peter Reese. Northwestern continuing to try to push downfield, but the Terps are not letting anything budge. sending it deep down the left sideline for Rita. Northwestern with another throw in. Absolutely failed throw in there, but Nigel Prince retains possession. Northwestern. Terps regain possession as that was Steinleitner sending it up. Down along the right side. Northwestern now trying to clear it from their own end. And they do so, but immediately repossessed there by Tristan Rose, sending it back in. The Terps now rocking Rita on the left side. Trying to show the moves. Gets around and shoots it, but it goes very high off to the right side.
Right into the crew.
Hope nobody gets hurt there. Because maybe not only Rocket is something that tells he's fast, he might have a rocket of a kick too.
Yeah, just a little bit off there on that right foot. A little bit high over the right corner.
Hongi's kick will go deep into Maryland's zone and will actually reach Lauren Mack, who once again faces pressure from Peter Reese and is forced to pick it up. Now it'll be Lasse Kelp sending it way downfield. And that is Mateo Caride trying to find something in the offensive zone. Now under 4 minutes here. And I think you have to imagine that if you're Sasha Surovsky, you really could not have asked for a better performance, especially just on 3 days rest without one of your best players.
Definitely.
They won't play again for another week against UCLA. A time to reset a little bit, get a little healthy. You get GK back. Yeah, you have to be absolutely thrilled. And although I'm sure Surovsky has praised his former player and his former assistant coach, I have to imagine it always feels good to beat a guy that you used to work with.
Yeah, no, it's, sometimes the apprentice can't beat the master, and as you say, Maryland's going to get a week off for UCLA. Northwestern, just a 3-day turnaround for them. They have Washington back in Evanston on the 29th.
And it'll be interesting to see how Northwestern will fare as they get deeper into conference play, because they're also in a very similar boat to Maryland, missing their starting goalie, missing on Henri Richter from the midfield. So they too have felt a loss due to red cards in their last game. Now winding down into the final 2 minutes of this Friday Night Lights affair. Northwestern trying to end it somewhat gracefully before they have to head back to Illinois.
Maybe if you just get one back here and 4-2, leave College Park, get back on the buses with at least something to hang your head on in a way that you finish the game a little bit stronger than you started it.
Absolutely. Sam Nagano for the Wildcats, sending it up onto the left side. Northwestern continuing to try and find a hole in the Maryland defense that has just not been there all night. Although a shot attempt is made, but Lauren Mack, steady hands as always, is right there to stop it.
Pretty easy for Mack. Didn't have to move too far to his left, right into his chest. Not a bad look, but no, we're under 90 seconds now, and I think it's just going to be the time wasting for the Terps.
As you take a look at some of our stats from tonight, Maryland had 2 more shots than Northwestern, 1 less shot on goal. And I think that just tells you how important, we talked about this before the game, just how important Lauren Mack is to this team. Although the offense ranks incredibly high, just that steady presence in net is so big for this Terps team and will be a big reason for why they can make a big run this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's efficiency. You got to be efficient on the shots that you take, and Maryland did that better than Northwestern.
Mack will finish the day with 6 saves, Hongi with 3. The Terps had 1 more foul than Northwestern and 1 more offsides, 8-7 and 2-1 respectively. And Northwestern actually had 4 more corners than the Terps, 8-4. So the fact that not only did they have more offsides, more fouls, less corners, and 1 less shot on goal, as there's a missed opportunity by Northwestern that goes right over. Really, really impressive win for this Terps team. Their second conference win after drawing with Penn State on Tuesday, but their first conference win at home. As that'll do it, the clock reaches 0. The Terps will move to 6-0-2. Northwestern will drop to 5-3-1. And Sasha Surovsky will shake the hand of his former apprentice, Russell Payne. A really excellent showing here from the Terps in front of a raucous home crowd.
Yeah, I mean, this is about as good of an offensive performance as I think you're going to get from this team. You know, you get the penalty first. You know, really nice job by Leon Kuhl of slotting that home. They took advantage of the open play chances that they got, you know, and they were able to get past the fullbacks. Talk about Albi Dranika's goal, and, you know, they took advantage of a backup goalkeeper. And Josue Hanji, you know, hopefully he isn't too down on himself. I know 4 goals is 4 goals, but good for Maryland. You know, they were able to get the own goal. I mean, Saddam Masareko with a phenomenal bicycle kick. I think at times the defense was a little bit shaky for the Terps. It looks like Northwestern opened them up a few times, you know, kind of around when they got that goal near the end of the first half, a little bit at the beginning of the second half. So I think that's something they're going to want to fix up, but this is still a very good defense. This is a very good team and a great win for the Terps in front of their home crowd.
Absolutely, and as we just said a few minutes ago, they now have a week before they play again. Well-deserved after a win like this, and it's going to be much needed as they will be traveling to Los Angeles to play UCLA. It'll be an interesting game out there on the West Coast. The first time the Terps have had to travel this season out there that far to the West Coast. Until then, we will see you back here on October 10th when the Terps come back home to play the currently ranked number 8 Michigan Wolverines. Until then, I'm Andrew Breza.
Jackson Wantman, thank you for listening to us here on WMUC Sports, your Terps, your station.